A lot of people ask me, what are the signs of domestic violence? Domestic violence is awful. It's horrible. It's the person you trust most that has made you feel unsafe in your own home through physical violence. The number one sign is that people will be reclusive. They'll be embarrassed. They'll hide. Your friend that you talk to all the time is now gone. They won't return your calls. They won't return their texts. And it's because they're embarrassed about what they're going through. Reach out to them. Help them. There are so many community organizations in the Tampa Bay area for victims of domestic violence, and there are lawyers that are ready to help and to file an injunction to get your friend, family member, loved one, or yourself the help that they need. You can get relief from the court very, very quickly when there is domestic violence. Take photos, gather your evidence, bring it to a lawyer who can file for an injunction right away. You will get an answer from the judge, often the very same day. And if a temporary injunction is granted, the police will be at your doorstep very shortly to get the other person out of your house and away from you and to keep you safe. What if there's no violence, but an ex won't leave you alone? They're showing up at your office, they're showing up at your house, they're texting you 200 times at night. We call that stalking. Stalking is a pattern of conduct, number one, directed at a specific individual, element number two, with no legitimate purpose, that's element three, that would cause an objectively reasonable person substantial emotional distress. Stalking injunctions require two very clear things. Number one, they require you to tell that person to stop. You must have a clear message. Stop calling me. Stop contacting me. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Once that happens, you should no longer communicate with that individual, because if you do, you are engaging with them and you are setting yourself up for failure for a stalking injunction. Once you tell them to stop, there must be a pattern. A pattern means more than one. So for example, if they text you one time after you told them not to, you don't have enough. But if they start showing up at your house, text you 200 times in one go, text you all hours of the night, then you can file for an injunction for stalking. Next, there must be no legitimate purpose. If it's a parent that just wants to see their kid and they keep texting someone saying, let me see my kid, let me see my kid, that's a legitimate person. But if it's just someone calling you names or abusing you online or following you through cyber stalking, there's no legitimate purpose there. Unlike most courts, the domestic violence civil court works very, very quickly. If you come and hire an attorney, they file an injunction, you're going to get that answer the same day, most likely. If a temporary injunction is entered, the police will be at your house to remove the perpetrator out of your home and keep you and your children safe. They'll be given an order that they're not allowed back. And if they come back, they go straight to jail. They don't get $200, straight to jail they go. Domestic violence injunctions are very, very serious. Now, what if you've been accused of false domestic violence? You didn't do anything. The police show up and you say, what happened here? Again, the judge is making a decision based off of what the other person is saying without even giving you a chance. If you've been falsely accused of domestic violence, get an attorney immediately. Most often, you will be served and told to leave your home with a go bag, more or less. You pack your clothes and off you go. But you also get a court date, typically that week or the very next week. It is vital that you have a defense in place, that you have proof in place, ready to go for your first day in court. Domestic violence injunctions are very, very serious. You cannot own a firearm. You cannot participate in your children's school. You can't be a volunteer. You can't do anything with kids, really. Take an injunction seriously. And again, if you're a victim, you deserve that protection. You deserve that serious protection that you get. Take it seriously. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of each other. Oftentimes, people will have both a domestic violence case and a custody or divorce case. Unfortunately, 8 out of 10 times that I see domestic violence cases, it is someone trying to get the upper hand in a custody case. It's wrong, it's horrible, and it happens way too much. But don't worry, with the right legal team, again, it will be short-term pain. There's nothing you can do about it. The court is ruling based only on what the other person said. And you must take it very, very seriously, because the temporary injunction is extremely serious. But you will have a court date in 1 to 2 weeks. Make sure you go there with counsel. Again, lawyers are in front of the same judges every single week. You've never been there before in your life. You must know the game. You must know the factors, you must know the rules, and you must know how to defend yourself. As part of an injunction, the court will enter a parenting plan that will protect not only you, but your children, and that could have long-lasting effects. If there is a finding of domestic violence, the court should not award shared decision making, meaning that the victim should be able to make the decisions with minimal to no input from the aggressor. The same is true for false domestic violence injunctions. The court is allowed to consider that when determining which parent gets more time with the children. Domestic violence injunctions are very serious and often happen at the beginning of a case with divorce or custody. If you're a victim of domestic violence, call us right away. We can help. If you've been falsely accused of domestic violence, call us right away. We can help you. If you actually did commit the domestic violence, call us right away. We can work on negotiating a peaceful resolution and one that keeps you out of jail.